In 2025, the Heartbeat cast, once beloved by millions, has faced life-altering accidents that spiraled their futures in unexpected directions. Some battled against adversity, striving to reclaim their past glory, while others embraced new paths that led them away from the limelight. What happened in those critical moments that changed everything? Where are they now, and how have they rebuilt their lives? Their resilience, triumphs, and struggles paint a story of fate, perseverance, and reinvention. Join us as we uncover their gripping journeys, some heartbreaking, some inspiring, but all deeply human. Derek Fowles, who portrayed Oscar Blaketon in Heartbeat, was 55 years old when he took on the role of the gruff, no-nonsense sergeant turned pub landlord in 1992. His commanding presence became one of the series' most defining elements. Off-screen, however, Fowles struggled with personal loneliness and grief. His long-term partner, Joe Lindsay, died in 2012, leaving him emotionally adrift in his final years. He was married once, briefly, in his early 30s to actress Leslie Judd. The marriage ended in divorce after just 3 years, reportedly due to conflicting careers and Fowles' growing dependence on alcohol. He had 2 sons, Jamie and Jeremy, though his relationship with them was distant for many years due to his obsessive dedication to work. In later life, he suffered multiple health issues, including heart failure and sepsis, which led to his death in 2020 at age 82. Friends noted that Derek had become increasingly withdrawn and melancholic in his final decade, often expressing regrets about missed opportunities both professionally and personally. Despite this, he left behind a modest estate valued at approximately £750,000, including royalties from Heartbeat and his earlier work in Yes Minister. Mark Jordan, who played the charming and often bumbling PC Phil Bellamy in Heartbeat, joined the cast at just 27 years old in 1992. His light-hearted portrayal made him a fan favorite, though real life painted a much darker picture. Jordan's career floundered after his departure from the series. Typecasting limited his opportunities, leading to sporadic TV appearances. His marriage to actress Siobhan Finneran was turbulent, and eventually ended in divorce in 2014 after over a decade together. The couple had 2 children, Joseph and Molly, but their relationship was strained during custody battles and Jordan's struggles with depression and alcoholism. In 2018, he was involved in a publicized legal case after a violent altercation, further damaging his reputation. Though acquitted, the incident left him emotionally shattered. Now 60, Jordan lives a reclusive life in Yorkshire, rarely appearing in public or on screen. His estimated estate stands at £500,000, mostly from past acting earnings and a small inheritance. Despite his fall from grace, some still remember him for the warmth he once brought to Aidensfield. William Simons, best known for his role as the wise and world-weary PC Alf Ventress, was 52 when he began portraying the veteran officer in Heartbeat in 1992. Known for his quiet strength and dry wit, Ventress was a viewer favorite. Off-screen, Simons carried heavy emotional burdens. He was twice married, first to actress Janie Wright, whom he divorced after her battle with mental illness, and later to Jackie Simons, a marriage that ended amicably but left him heartbroken. He never had children and often lamented his solitude. Simons dealt with lifelong anxiety and bouts of severe depression, worsened by the end of Heartbeat, which he viewed as the last meaningful chapter of his life. He withdrew from public life after 2010 and lived alone until his passing in 2019 at age 78 due to prostate cancer. Simons was known for his kindness on set but confessed to friends that he struggled with a sense of purposelessness in retirement. His modest estate, valued at around £600,000, was left to a handful of close friends and a charity supporting mental health. Lisa Kay was 30 years old when she stepped into the role of Nurse Carol Cassidy in 2006, bringing a fresh warmth and compassion to the long-running series. Though she initially showed promise with her delicate performances, her acting career never fully flourished post-Heartbeat. Industry politics and being overshadowed by more commercially driven talent left her increasingly marginalized. Her marriage to theater director Jonathan Reed was marred by infidelity and emotional abuse. They divorced in 2015. She has one daughter, Freya, now 17, with whom she shares a close, if financially strained, bond. Kay has spoken in interviews about her battles with chronic anxiety, body dysmorphia, and the pressure to maintain appearances in an unforgiving industry. After briefly teaching drama, she retreated from the spotlight and currently resides in a quiet village in the Cotswolds. Now 49, she sustains herself through voiceover work and freelance writing. Her estate is modest, estimated around £200,000, and she lives frugally, having given up the dream of stardom for a life of quiet introspection and maternal devotion. Vanessa Heher, who portrayed the cheerful and eager nurse Rosie Cartwright in Heartbeat, was just 27 when she joined the series in 2004. Rosie brought warmth and youthful optimism to the show, but Vanessa's life off-screen was far more turbulent. After leaving Heartbeat, she struggled to find consistent acting roles, often turning to voice work and small theater productions to make ends meet. She married British director Anthony Ellison in 2007, but the relationship was plagued by infidelity and emotional distance. They divorced in 2016, leaving Vanessa to raise their two children, Maya and Freddie, largely on her own. The stress of single motherhood and professional stagnation led to a nervous breakdown in 2018, which she has since spoken about candidly in interviews. A falling out with her own family over inheritance issues further isolated her. Now 48, she lives modestly in a quiet suburb of Manchester, teaching acting classes at a community centre. Her estate is estimated to be around $250,000, much of which is tied up in the family home. Despite everything, Vanessa remains quietly hopeful, though she rarely steps into the public eye. Rupert Vancid, best known for his role as the pompous yet oddly endearing Lord Ashfordly in Heartbeat, was 38 when he debuted in 1992. His character symbolized old-world prestige, often at odds with the show's more working-class figures. Though Vancid continued acting steadily after Heartbeat, he was typecast in similar aristocratic roles, a constraint that stunted his creative ambitions. His marriage to actress Emma Kate, whom he wed in 1985, endured on the surface, but behind closed doors it was marked by deep emotional estrangement and long stretches apart. The couple had one daughter, Alice, who later distanced herself from both parents and moved abroad. Rupert suffered a near-fatal car accident in 2009, which left him with chronic back pain and ended his stage career. His brother's suicide in 2014 further plunged him into depression. At 71, he now lives alone in Oxfordshire, rarely making public appearances. His estate is estimated at $1.8 million, though most of it is locked in investments and property. Once a vibrant figure on the small screen, Rupert now spends his days tending to a small garden and reading classic literature. Geoffrey Hughes, who brought both comedy and heart to the role of Vernon Scripps in Heartbeat, was 57 when he joined the show in 2001. His portrayal of the bumbling but lovable rogue added a sense of levity to the drama. Behind the charm, however, Geoffrey carried deep personal pain. After the death of his wife Susan in 1999, he never remarried and lived a reclusive life in his Devon farmhouse. The couple had no children, and Geoffrey often spoke of the emptiness he felt in the years following her death. He battled prostate cancer for nearly 3 years, initially keeping the diagnosis private while continuing to work sporadically. Depression and regret over missed opportunities haunted his final years, particularly his estrangement from his siblings over a bitter estate dispute. Geoffrey passed away on July 27, 2012, at the age of 68. His funeral was a quiet affair, attended by a few close friends and co-stars. His estate, valued at around $850,000, was largely donated to cancer research organizations. Despite the solitude of his later life, Hughes remains fondly remembered for the humor he brought to millions. Alen McGucken, who played the intelligent and composed Dr. Liz Merrick on Heartbeat, joined the cast at 29 in 2003. Liz's poised and progressive presence brought a new dynamic to the show's rural medical world. Off-screen, Alen seemed to have it all, a thriving career and a loving marriage to playwright Toby Darlington, with whom she had 3 children, Isla, Finnegan, and Leo. But fame came at a cost. The pressure to maintain a public image strained her marriage, which dissolved in 2012 amid rumors of mutual infidelity. The custody battle that followed was bitter, and she became estranged from Finnegan, who later legally changed his last name. Professionally, she struggled to break away from the shadow of Liz Merrick, often losing major roles to younger actresses. In 2019, she suffered a severe breakdown that led her to briefly step away from acting. Now 50, she has returned to television in smaller, supporting roles and lives quietly in rural Northern Ireland. Her estate is estimated to be worth around $600,000, most of which is invested in real estate. Though her days of stardom seem behind her, Alen quietly endures, focused on healing and artistic expression. Claire Calbrath, who portrayed Dr. Tricia Summerby in Heartbeat from 2001 to 2002, was 28 years old when she began playing the dedicated, caring doctor who ultimately met a tragic fate. Calbraith's character was beloved by fans, but her own life took a darker turn. After her departure from the series, she struggled to find roles that matched her early success. Her personal life, too, was filled with turmoil. She married actor Peter Turner in 2003, and the two had one daughter, Isabel, but their relationship was plagued by infidelity and emotional strain. The couple separated in 2010, with Turner's emotional instability and substance abuse being a major factor. Calbraith's career hit a decline, and she became reclusive, often battling feelings of isolation. Her struggle with depression led to a brief stint in therapy, but she found little solace in the spotlight's fading glow. At the age of 48, she tragically passed away in 2019 due to a self-inflicted injury, leaving behind a modest estate valued at $250,000, much of which was left to her daughter, Isabel. Sophie Ward, who portrayed Dr. Helen Trent in Heartbeat from 2004, was 37 years old when she took on the role of the ambitious and empathetic doctor, loved by viewers for her expertise and kindness. Though Ward's performance was lauded, her personal life was fraught with difficulties. After a highly publicized marriage to her co-star from another project, James Ellison, which lasted for 7 years, they divorced in 2012. Ward faced emotional turmoil from the separation and battled through a difficult custody battle for their 2 children, Oliver and Lucy. Despite the personal struggles, she remained dedicated to her craft and found comfort in her roles, though her career never fully regained the heights it had reached during Heartbeat. At 58, Ward remains active in the industry, but her career is far from its former glory. She occasionally struggles with loneliness and a desire to regain the attention and success she had in her earlier years. Her estate is modest, valued at $800,000, which includes a small home in the countryside where she now lives with her children, who are both now adults. Claire Will, who played Rachel Dawson in Heartbeat in 2006, was 34 years old when she entered the show, portraying a sharp and determined police officer who had a strong moral compass. However, her personal life took a different trajectory. After the show ended, Will's career faltered, and she found herself in a spiral of frustration and bitterness. She had married fellow actor Mark Henderson in 2008, and the couple had 2 children, a son named James and a daughter named Sarah. Their marriage was constantly under strain, marked by financial troubles and Mark's increasing reliance on alcohol. Their eventual divorce in 2015 led to a painful custody battle. Will's emotional health deteriorated, and her once promising career never revived. By 53, she had mostly retired from acting and spent her time in self-imposed isolation, struggling to regain the stability she once had. Will's estate, valued at $500,000, is primarily tied up in the small family home she shares with her children, but the future remains uncertain as she contemplates life after fame. Nikki Sanderson, who played Dawn Bellamy in Heartbeat starting in 2008, was 24 years old when she took on the role of a young woman eager to prove herself, struggling to balance personal and professional ambitions. Though Sanderson was praised for her dynamic performance, her life off-screen was riddled with strife. She married her longtime boyfriend, musician Ben Carter, in 2012, and the couple had one child, a daughter named Emily. However, the marriage was plagued by constant disputes over Ben's infidelity and financial instability. In 2017, after a turbulent 6 years, Sanderson filed for divorce. The fallout from the divorce left her emotionally drained and financially struggling. Her career took a significant hit, and she found herself appearing only in minor roles. Now 41, Sanderson remains active in television but only in less significant roles, her career never recovering to its former prominence. Sanderson's estate is valued at $350,000, with the majority of her wealth tied to her modest acting roles and the few public appearances she continues to make. David Michaels, who portrayed Dr. Neil Bolton in Heartbeat, was 39 years old when he joined the show in 1997. His character was a compassionate and devoted doctor, admired by his colleagues and patients alike. However, Michael's real-life path was anything but easy. After his stint on Heartbeat, his career faced a steep decline. His roles became fewer, and he struggled to find his footing in an ever-changing industry. Michael's personal life was marked by a string of turbulent relationships. His first marriage to actress Claire Davis ended in a bitter divorce, with their 2 children, a son named Alex and a daughter, Sophie, caught in the middle. His second marriage to fellow actor Joan Lancaster was short-lived, plagued by his increasing dependency on alcohol. Michaels faced several public scandals related to his behavior, resulting in the loss of many professional opportunities. Despite his issues, he remained close to his children, often trying to repair the damage done. His tragic passing occurred in 2015 at the age of 57, a result of complications from a long battle with alcoholism. His estate was modest, estimated at around $500,000, which was divided between his children, with a portion donated to addiction recovery charities. Lauren Drummond, who played Jane Black in Heartbeat, was just 20 years old when she made her debut on the show in 2005. Her character, a bright and cheerful young woman, resonated with fans due to her lively and optimistic nature. Off-screen, Drummond's life was filled with both success and hardship. After Heartbeat, she transitioned to roles in both television and theater, but her career never reached the heights it once seemed destined for. Her personal life was filled with heartache, as her first marriage to a fellow actor, Tom Palmer, was plagued by infidelity and emotional distance, ultimately leading to their divorce. They had 2 children, a son named Luke and a daughter, Ella, both of whom she raised as a single mother. Despite facing financial difficulties and balancing motherhood with work, Drummond's resilience kept her going. Her relationship with her family was strained at times, particularly with her estranged mother, but she found solace in her theater work. Now 40 years old, Drummond has returned to the stage, focusing on roles that offer emotional depth. While her career is quieter than in her early days, she continues to be a beloved figure in the industry. Her estate, estimated at $1 million, is managed by her children, with plans for future charitable contributions. Diane Langton, who joined Heartbeat as Ruby Rowan in 2005, was 57 years old at the time. Ruby was the character whose sharp wit and strong personality made her a standout in the series. Langton's portrayal of the character brought her a level of fame and recognition that she had longed for throughout her career. However, her personal life was marked by deep sadness. After decades of struggling with a series of failed marriages, Langton found herself alone and fighting against feelings of loneliness. Her first marriage to actor Peter Hunt ended in divorce after a bitter public dispute, and her second marriage to music producer James Harris was marred by infidelity and emotional abuse. The couple had one son, Sam, who became estranged from Langton after a bitter custody battle. Her career suffered due to her personal struggles, with fewer roles coming her way. Despite her personal tragedies, Langton remained a respected figure in the entertainment industry. She continued to work in theater and television, though often in smaller roles. Now 77, Langton spends her time reflecting on her life, keeping her family relationships low-key. Her estate, estimated at $3 million, was primarily left to her son, Sam, though their relationship remains strained. Langton's legacy is one of resilience in the face of adversity, as she continues to inspire others with her story. Who is your favorite character from Heartbeat? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.